Hey everybody, today we're going to show you where to find all 11 Keeper's Shrine fast travel locations here in Chapter 1 of Black Myth Wukong, so let's jump into it. So we're going to start with the very first shrine, which is called Front Hills. This one you probably already have, as this one's the easiest one to find right off the rip of the game. When you spawn in, essentially all you need to do is follow the main path until you get to a chest, and there you're going to turn right. Keep in mind, I've already taken out a lot of the enemies and the bosses throughout this video, so that it's a little bit easier for you guys to follow the path that we're taking to get to each of these individual shrines, but some of them will require you to actually have to beat some bosses. But right here along this tree is where you're going to be able to find the Front Hills Shrine. From the Front Hills Shrine, the next one we're going to go after is called Outside the Forest. We're just going to continue along the main path. Now for this one, you will have to defeat the Bull Guard boss, which you will come across along the main path towards the end here. We're just going to continue to follow this path all the way down. We're going to end up going down the hill here, and down here is where you'll find the Bull Guard boss. We're going to hang a right. You're going to see this little temple area over here. We're going to go up the stairs inside. Go ahead and work our way up here to this tree. Once you make it in here, we're going to immediately take a left, and we're going to follow this pathway all the way up the hill. We're just going to continue along this path. Again, you'll come across a couple enemies along the way that you'll need to fight. They're not too difficult at all, as we are early game. We'll just continue to follow that pathway. We're going to make our way all the way to the top of the hill here. And as you get to the top, on your right, you're going to see a little overlook where I believe there's a meditation spot. But what you want to do is go in the cave behind us. So here's the little meditation spot. You can see there's a little crack in the side of the mountain here. And that's going to be an entrance that we can go inside of. We're just going to follow this path all the way through this cave. And then once you make it up to the top of the stairs here, you'll see right here on your right, it's going to be our second shrine, again called Outside the Forest. For our third shrine, we're going to leave from the Outside the Forest shrine and just continue our way up the path towards the Guanyin temple. And for this one, we're just going to follow the main pathway here. You guys will see we're going to come across a bridge. We're going to go ahead and go across that bridge and hang a right. We're going to hang a far right and just go this direction. Now you're going to encounter the Wandering Wight, which is a boss hanging out right here. You can just run past him. You don't need to fight him, especially early game. He can be very, very difficult if you're still really early in the game. So it's best to just go by this guy and come back for him later once you've leveled up a little bit. But you're just going to follow the wooden platform all the way down the side of the mountain here. And as you make it to the end of this platform, we're just going to have another little pathway. We can continue to follow that down the hill. And then you're going to see the temple that's right here in front of us. We'll go ahead and get some stamina back. We're just going to climb the stairs up into this temple. Once you make it through the first doorway, if you look on your left or right over here by the tree, it's going to be the Guanyin temple fast travel. Our next shrine is going to be really close by. This is called the Back Hills. And for this one, what we're going to have to do is make our way up into the top of the temple, and you're going to have a main boss fight right here in this little arena. So you can go ahead and do that boss fight. And once you complete it, you can work your way out the back side of the temple. And out the back is where you're going to find the next shrine. See, we'll work our way down the staircase. And then right here on the right, before you go down the mountain, it's going to be shrine number 4, the Back Hills. Shrine number 5 is going to be called Snake Trail. To get to this one from the Back Hills, we're just going to work our way down the pathway out the back side of the temple. We're going to follow this pathway until it leads us to a river. We're just going to continue to follow this path. And when you come across a river, you're going to turn left to go up the stairs. So we'll just continue our way towards the back, down the side of the mountain here. And once you make it toward the bottom, you'll see the river right here in front of us. We're going to take a left and go up the staircase here. And just continue to follow this pathway across the bridge and up the side of the mountain here. Stay to the left. Continue to follow that to the top. You'll see the staircase in front of you. You can see on the left side of those stairs is going to be your next shrine, which again is called Snake Trail. Our sixth shrine is going to be called Marsh of White Mist. To get to this one, we're going to start from, again, Snake Trail and just work our way up the stairs there. We're going to go across the bridge and we're just going to follow the main path. You will encounter several enemies along this pathway, so just keep that in mind. You can blow past them if you want. You're going to take a left at the end, and then you're going to take another left and go down the ramp here. And from here, you're just going to follow the path all the way down into where you're going to find a bunch of skeletal snakes, which is a really cool area to explore if you haven't been this far into the game yet. But if you want to just get to the shrine quickly so that you have in the fast travel, all you need to do is work your way to the back of this jungle. So you can just go all the way to the back straight. You don't really need to follow a path. But as you get back here, you'll see the entrance right here. This is going to be a boss arena. But once you've fought the boss, you can take a right. You'll see a little pathway over here. And all you need to do is follow this path to the end. And it's going to lead you to the next shrine. Go ahead and work your way up the stairs. And once you get to the top, you'll see directly in front of you is going to be the sixth shrine, again, called Marsh of White Mist. Shrine number 7 is going to be called Cave Interior, and from the Marsh of White Mist fast travel, we're just going to continue to follow that main path, and we're going to go down these wooden ramps to the very bottom of this mountain. Now, to get to this, you're going to have to defeat a pretty difficult boss called the White-Clad Noble, and he is going to be right here in this pond as you work your way down the hill. And you're going to have to defeat him to get past this point. So if you're not able to, it's worth trying to level up a little bit, get your stats up. But once you defeat him, we're just going to continue along the path and into this cave. And once you're in the cave, you can go left or right. It's all going to lead to the same spot in the back here. Go all the way to the back of this cave. We're just going to follow this forward. And then when you get where it splits, you want to hang a right. We're going to go up this staircase here, and from here, essentially, you're just going to follow this path until you get out of the cave. So just continue to follow this. You'll have to take a left is the only direction you can go. From here, just go all the way to the back, and you're going to see a little exit over here. We'll go through that. And then right in front of us is going to be giant double doors to move on to the next section, but before you go through, you'll be able to see our next shrine. It's going to be right here on your right. So this is where you can find the Cave Interior. So from the Cave Interior Shrine, we're going to work our way to the next one, which is called Outside the Cave. We're going to go through the double doors, and you're going to have to defeat a boss called the Black Wind King. He's a pretty interesting boss to the main story here. And once you take him out, you're just going to continue through the back. And what you want to do is follow this path all the way up to the back. And you're going to see these curtains, and you can actually go through these. So if you walk up to them, you can interact, and your character is going to squeeze his way through all the way to the back. And once that animation is done, we can go through the little blind thing here. And then right over here at the little temple, you're going to be able to find the next shrine, which again is called Outside the Cave. Shrine number 9 is going to be called Bodhi Peak. To get to that from the Outside the Cave shrine, we're just going to continue along the path up the hill. We're just going to follow this all the way to the top. You're going to see a wooden platform. We're going to cross that wooden platform and work our way up the stairs on the left here. So we can come right over here, work your way through this little tunnel of another little platform area, and you'll see we can continue to work our way all the way up to the top. So just follow this pathway. Once you get over here, you're going to find another staircase that's, again, going to just lead you to the top of this mountain. And then once you make it up here, you're going to have another set of stairs. Climb those. And once we're up here, you'll see right here on the right, it's going to be your next shrine called Bodhi Peak. Shrine number 10 is the Grand Chamber. We're going to have to ring 3 bells in Chapter 1. For the first one, we're going to go to the Outside the Forest Fast Travel Shrine. And once you make your way to this shrine, we're just going to go up the pathway here in front of us. You'll have a couple enemies along the way. But once you get here, we're going to take a left where there's an opening. We're going to follow this pathway up and around the hill here. You're going to see a bridge that's right here in front of us behind this chest. We're going to go across this bridge and then just continue to follow that pathway. We're going to go under this little overhang. And then once you're in this area, you'll have a little boss fight. And after that boss fight, you can come right over here to the back. You'll be able to interact to ring this bell, which will be your first bell. To get to our second bell, we're going to fast travel back over to the Marsh of White Mist Shrine. And from here, what you're going to do is turn around and go backwards. So we're not going to work our way forward. We're going to go backwards and back down this pathway down the hill. We'll just work our way to the bottom here. Then when you come out on the other side, what you want to do is stay to the right. You're going to see a staircase that leads up the side of the hill here. And right at the top of these stairs, you're going to find your second bell. So you can interact with this one for number 2. Now for our third and final bell, we're going to head back over to the Marsh of White Mist Shrine. And this time, instead of going backwards, we're going to go forward. We're going to make our way back down to where the white-clad noble boss is. Work our way down the planks here. Go all the way down to the bottom. And then again, right here in this pond is where you'll find the white-clad noble. Pretty difficult boss. I had definitely had to level up some things to be able to take him out. But to progress the story, what you do is go through the main cave there. To get to the third bell, you want to take a left and follow the river down this direction. You'll see that once you get down here, it's going to be really foggy. But at the very back of this river, you're going to see a little building. And right here is where you're going to be able to find your third and final bell that you can interact with. Now, after you interact with that third bell, it's going to automatically spawn you right here where I'm standing after the cutscene. And once you spawn in, all you need to do is work your way up the stairs and into the temple. And you'll see that right over here on your left by the tree is going to be your 10th shrine, which again is called the Grand Chamber. Our 11th and final shrine is a secret one that's going to require you to make it to chapter 2. But once you make it to chapter 2, you want to make your way to the Valley of Despair shrine. This is the fast travel we're going to use. So you have to make it pretty deep into chapter 2 to be able to go back to chapter 1 and get this one. But from this shrine, what you're going to do is make your way over here into this cave. You'll have a couple enemies that are here along the pathway, but essentially what we're going to do is make our way to the bottom of this cave where there is a boss fight. And what we need to do is get the boss to ram into a wall. So as we jump down right here is where you're going to find the boss. I've already defeated him. But what you want to do is stand in front of this giant wall that you can see right here behind us. And there's a really, really high chance that that boss will do it anyways, but he's going to ram into that and it's going to crack open. If for some reason you're not lucky enough to get it to work, you can use the Wandering White ability and you can do it yourself. You can see I just slammed the wall and it cracked it open. So there's a couple different ways to actually get this to work, but the easiest is just to get the boss that's down here to ram into the wall so that you don't actually have to get the Wandering White ability. But once you break that wall open, all you need to do is slide through the crack. You'll have a little loading screen. And once you make it inside, there'll be this really cool little dark room with a chest in the back. And you need to go and grab the item out of this chest. Go ahead and open it up and you'll see that we'll get the long scales, which is what we're going to need to be able to open the 11th shrine in chapter 1. Now, once you have the scale, we're going to make our way back over to chapter 1 to the outside the forest shrine fast travel. And once you're here, what we're going to do is follow the main pathway forward. We're going to go to a secret waterfall that's over here. So we're going to take a left where the path splits. We're going to follow this pathway all the way up to where you'll find the bridge. You're going to see the bridge right here in front of us, except we're going to take a left and we're going to go up the hill right here. You can see when we make it to the top of the hill, we can go around and we're just going to follow this little pathway and we're trying to stay left essentially. And you can see right over here is where the waterfall is going to be. And now that we have the scale, you can walk up to that waterfall and you'll see a little button that says examine. And we can do that. And what that's going to do is clear away the water and leave a little entrance for us. So now we can go to where the waterfall was. There'll be a little crack in the side of the mountain and we can go through. Now I'm going to cut it when we get to the other side here, as there's going to be a really, really awesome boss fight that takes place on the other side. But once you make it in here and you defeat the boss, there'll be a chest where you can grab your reward. And after you're done, this is essentially a dead arena that you can just use as a fast travel. There's not going to be a physical shrine in this area that you can walk up to. However, now when you go to fast travel, this is going to be an option in your little options called Long Claw Grove, and you'll be able to fast travel back to this arena if you want to come back to this area. But this is where you're going to be able to find all 11 of the Keeper Shrines here in Chapter 1 of Black Myth Wukong. Hopefully this video helps some of you guys out. I appreciate you watching, and we'll see you in the next one.